Plexar.
Plaxar.
What are we talking about today?
We're talking about the Greys today, Plaxar.
Well, those are our gray voices, and hello everybody, and welcome to the Supernatural Beer Bros podcast. Today we're going to be talking about Greys, but before we get started, let's introduce ourselves. My name is Richie, and I'm here with my good buddy,
Andy.
Yes, that's Andy. And just so you guys, in case you guys didn't know, well, I mean, obviously you don't know, but this is our first podcast, and we're going to be talking about anything supernatural. So as far as, Greys go, or, just aliens in general, cryptids, ghosts.
But specifically today, we're talking Greys.
Yeah, Greys. So we'll go ahead and get started on that. I mean, it's a lot to unpack. Every time we started researching this, I feel like one rabbit hole just goes into the next one, and it's like a bunch of Russian dolls.
No, yeah. I mean, every single time I got to I'd hit one article that says one thing, then the next article says another thing, and they just contradict. It's hard to know what's real and what isn't. It's just one big.
Well, Andy, it's all real.
All of it. Someone's right and someone's wrong.
I'm not fucking wrong.
Or it's all just bullshit.
I'm never wrong. I'm always right.
Could be bullshit.
Instead of Richie, they call me righty, even though I'm lefty.
Could be all bullshit. But
before we get started, We're just going to have a disclaimer, so to speak. Don't take anything we say as fact, because we're just two drunks, and we just like to talk shit.
No, I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah, we're probably not drunks, but we indulge in the alcohol, and we're just going to be, talking about this topic over beers, and that's usually how this show is going to go. Is going to be us talking about a topic over beers. We'll go ahead and get started on this topic. The Greys. Tell us where they come from, Andy.
Oh, well, the Greys come from a binary star system about 38 light years away called Zeta Reticuli.
Zeta Reticuli.
Oh, yes, sir.
And go ahead and tell us about these Zeta Reticuli. I mean, are they obviously they're aliens.
Well, yeah. I mean, they're from a star system 38 light years away. They're 3 to 6 feet tall, slim, big black eyes, look like bugs.
And there's two different types of Greys, right? There's the short Greys and then there's the tall Greys. Yeah,
but specifically today we're talking the short ones.
Okay.
Because those are the ones that we're familiar with.
You know what I wonder, though? In Zeta Reticuli, since there are tall Greys and short Greys, humans, I guess you could say there's tall humans and short humans, right? Because we have NBA players that are 7 foot tall, and then we also have little people, if that's what you want to call them. They're it could be anywhere from 3'9" to 4 feet tall. So I wonder if the Greys have their own basketball teams.
They'd lose. Especially if they're playing against the Nordics or the reptilians. Yeah. I hear some of the reptilians can be up to 20 feet tall.
Yeah, and reptilians come from Earth. So unless there's some kind of
specifically the Dracos
intergalactic NBA, that'd be awesome. I'd fucking pay to watch that.
Yeah, I think they got better shit to do than play basketball. They're too busy conquering galaxies.
So touching on that, the Greys are conquerors?
Not really. The Greys are more. They're more slaves to. Specifically, this group of Greys that we're familiar with, they're called the Dow, D-O-W. I have no idea what it stands for, but when I found that, it was all capitalized, so I'm assuming it's an acronym. But apparently, when they left their home planet, they had issues, and they were captured by the reptilians.
And real quick, before we keep going, a description of the Greys, a Grey is your typical alien. So what everyone is more or less familiar with, they have the big heads, huge black beady eyes, and small nostrils or whatever.
Yeah, and a little slit for a mouth.
Yeah, so if you guys remember the Roswell, New Mexico crash site and the autopsies and all that, those are Greys.
Yeah, they have no vocal or audible language. They don't speak. They communicate telepathically.
They don't grunt?
No, sir.
They're not like cavemen. They don't talk like this, Plaxar.
No, Claxar, we don't talk like this. No. So anyway, Yeah, they have little in the way of emotion, but they're strong with telepathy. They use the telepathy for communication, deception, and concealment of their motives.
So they speak telepathically or whatever. I wonder. I mean, like, can they like intrude on each other's thoughts? Like, is there any secrets between? They're a hive mind, right?
No, yeah, they're hive mind. They operate like one brain. They're constantly psychically connected to each other.
Bees have a hive mind, right? More or less.
Not really.
Or is it ants?
Well, none of them really have a hive mind. They're not intelligent. Bees and ants, they operate on pheromones. Like,
that's a good question, though. Does anything on this planet have like a collective hive mind, or is that just something that we've?
No, like you see, like sometimes you see those trails of ants, and they all follow the same trail.
Yeah,
that's because the lead ant left a pheromone, a chemical trail, to lead all the other ants the same way he went.
And bees do something like that as well.
And bees do the same shit.
Okay.
Like when a bee stings you, it releases a pheromone into the air, telling the rest of the bees to attack.
Okay.
And those bees follow the pheromone sent to you and sting the shit out of you.
So that's not exactly a hive mind. That's just like,
no, that's just
hey, I farted. Like, follow my stink. There's food over here.
Yes, that's okay. It's like a chemical attraction.
They have like different types of farts. Like one smells for attack and one smells for like food.
Yeah, pretty much.
Can you imagine if we had that?
Imagine if we farted when we're hungry.
Yeah, if
it's like I'll say, instead of saying, "Hey, make me a sandwich," I just go
just downwind from Andy, and like I smell that he found food.
No, I'm asking for food when I shit myself.
Okay, I guess that works too.
No, I'm not asking. I'm demanding. Bring me a sandwich. Anyway, yeah. So these fucking guy.
Oh my god.
All right. Their race is called the Reticulans. They as a race they were really, really good like healers. They were good at healing, and their strong points are like technology and analytics and
so they're smart strategy. Healers.
Oh, they're super smart.
But now
look at their look at the dome on that guy, man.
Yeah, but what I want to know also is like, okay, so they're healers, but is it like mystical power healing? Like they use their fucking big ass dome to heal you, or is it just they're so good at technology that they can fucking heal you with their little?
Well, I mean, you never know what's possible when you hit that level of
wokeness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wokeness. I like to think I'm woke, but not really. I know I'm not.
If you could fucking read my mind, you're woke.
No.
What am I thinking?
You're thinking I'm an idiot.
Close enough.
All right. Nothing new. I don't need to read your mind to know that. So, well, I think I went over this already, but the grays that we are familiar with, the short grays.
Yeah, the short grays. We're not familiar with the NBA player grays.
Specifically, the ones that we've seen on this planet, they're a breakaway group from their home planets. Like they took off on their own, unsanctioned. I don't know what the issues were. I couldn't find that information. I don't think it exists.
But basically, they had some type of conflict on their planet where they were like, "All right, later, dudes."
Yep, and they're like, "Fuck you," and they left. So
in other words, the Tao, which are the grays we're familiar with, the short grays, they're like pirates.
Yes,
and outcasts. They're like Australians, right?
Except they're pirates in service of others, because they're not doing this. I mean, they are and they're not, but they're here on behalf of the reptilians, according to the research that I've done.
So the reptilians reached out to the Tao and they were like, no?
The reptilians captured that breakaway group when they left their planet and they enslaved them. And over generations, they genetically modified this group of greys
So
to where they cannot reproduce naturally.
The reptilians genetically modified the greys.
Yes.
So reptilians are smart as shit too, right?
Oh yeah.
And just so if you guys didn't know, the reptilians are, I don't want to call them aliens because they're native to Earth.
Imagine if the dinosaurs survived that comet strike and became intelligent.
And that's the reptilians.
Yeah, they had 65 million years to evolve. Think about the human race. We've only been here, what, 100,000 years?
Interesting.
I mean, if you believe religion, we've been here 6,000 years. If you believe evolution, we've been here, what, our earliest ancestors, maybe 200,000 years?
Either way, compared to the reptilians, we have not been here.
Yeah, compared to the
long.
reptilians, we're fucking babies.
Yeah. So, reptilians are the fucking true geniuses, and we can get into that, but I'm pretty sure they're running most of our government. But we'll talk about that later.
We'll do an episode on the reptilians.
Yeah, they're smart.
Don't you worry about that.
They're scary smart.
So, like I said, the Tao broke away. They ventured out on their own. They got captured, and many generations of them lived in captivity under the reptilians, and the reptilians genetically tampered with them, and yeah, I can't even imagine this because I'm a guy and this is how I think. But they lost their reproductive parts. They don't have them.
Oh, yeah. No more sexy fun time for them. But also,
Nope.
My question is, okay, so they have no emotion, right?
No.
So does emotion play into, like, the urge to have sex? Like, would you say that? So if from the beginning they didn't have any type of emotion or any type of feeling, how do they reproduce anyways?
Well, you're thinking about this from a human point of view because they don't have emotion.
True.
If they're gonna fuck, they're fucking to reproduce, and that's it. Just reproduction. That's it. Human beings. I guess it depends with human beings whether you're male or female because females, I don't know. They're feeling that emotion at the time. Guys just want to get their dick wet. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah. So
just gotta dip that wick, man.
Just gotta dip it.
Get it in.
Dip it in, dip it out.
So, anyway, okay, so, the fuck was I? Okay, so, obviously, this was done intentionally by the reptilians to keep their slaves' numbers low, and so they won't rise up in mass against them. It makes them easier to control.
Now, this is one theory. So my question is, if the reptilians really modified the Greys or the Tao or whatever you want to call them, and they enslaved them. Now, so since the reptilians enslaved them, does that mean that these Greys have been trapped here, or do they still have their spaceships and shit, and they can still get in and out?
No, they're not trapped. I mean, if you look at like the abduction stories, like Betty and Barney Hill, and all those, like they're captured and they're taken onto a ship. Uh-huh. So the Greys obviously have their own craft, but I'm not sure if you're familiar with this term, Stockholm syndrome.
Explain.
Where someone is held hostage long enough to where they begin to sympathize with their captor, and at times they even begin to love their captor.
So you're saying we got Tao fucking Grey loving piece of shit humans out here? No, they're not pieces of shit.
No, I'm not talking about the humans. I'm talking about the Greys.
Oh, okay. So the Greys love the reptilians.
Yeah, the Greys have come to enjoy their lot in life. They work for the reptilians, and well, not the Greys, but the Tao. The Greys are something totally separate. I mean, they are Greys, but they're a breakaway group, like I said.
Okay, so
the Greys that are still in their home system, they're called the Zetas, and they're more or less benevolent. The ones that are here abducting people and stuff like that, they're working for the reptilians.
Okay.
So, yeah, they're not good.
So everybody knows that the Greys are working for the Majestic 12 or have an alliance. No,
they're not working for Majestic 12.
Just in case you guys didn't know, the Majestic 12 is a secret group within the government, also known as the Jason Scholars or the Jason Society. And people have said or speculated that the Greys have been given a plot of land by the Majestic 12, which is in the Four Corners area, which is like Utah, Colorado, Arizona, New Mexico, like that area. And these bases are known, they're like underground bases, and they're known as DUMBs.
Okay, well,
DUMBS.
listen, we're going to get into this because
Okay, yeah, we'll talk about this.
what
right
I'm
now.
saying, they got those bases for another reason entirely.
Yeah, well, some say that.
Remember what I said about their telepathy?
Yeah, well,
Their
some say
telepathy, they use their telepathy for communication, deception, and concealment of their motives.
though.
They also use it for manipulation. So, manipulation, buddy.
Manipulation.
So look, they. Well, I don't know if I should get into this now. It's kind of too early. But
Go ahead.
all right. So
Let's hear it.
like I said, the Tao, they work for the reptilians. They've done this to countless planets in many different galaxies, solar
Done
systems.
what?
They're,
Take over the planet.
yeah, they're pirates.
So would you say that
No,
right now we like in our age and time right now that like we're living in, are we being run by reptilians and greys?
Yeah.
So we already lost.
Well, I mean, if you believe this research, yes, we are being run, not directly, but from behind the scenes by the reptilians through the Greys, through our elite. Yeah, so they, what it is, the Tao's main mission is to venture out into the cosmos as biological and genetical engineers, and they conquer undeveloped worlds and civilizations without force. So most times this happens without the indigenous race even knowing it happened.
So it's like they're fucking super secret agents and they just do all this shit from the shadows.
Yeah, like they're like James Bond on steroids.
Now another question I have is the Tao that do that, right? That go and conquer like planets and shit or whatever from the shadows. Are these the same Tao that the reptilians like? I would say cultivated. Is that the right word? Like that they?
Yeah, Tao is the group that they genetically engineered.
Okay, so
That they control.
the Tao is going out conquering planets and galaxies on the behalf of the reptilians.
Yeah. Oh, we'll get into it.
Damn. So
So-
reptilians are fucking masterminds. On top of eating babies,
So they're
fucking scary.
well. This is kind of how they do it. Like the Tao show up, and they begin to observe the planet. So they hide in the shadows. They try not to be seen or noticed too much, and they study the nations and the culture, and they figure out which nation is on top, which one's the strongest.
So, like for example, I mean, I don't know about now, but the U.S. would have been on the top for a while. But it depends on how long, like the Tao have been here, because I feel like Britain was on top for a little while. You go back in time. So
Friggin' 300 years ago.
yeah, but the Tao are older than 300 years old, right? Like what we're talking about, we're a baby species, right? As
Yeah,
humans.
but the Tao, I don't think they've been here that long.
No,
I don't think they've been here 300 years.
really. So they're
So-
kind of new to here, and within less than 300 years, they conquered Earth.
Yeah,
They're fucking smart. Those
I don't
big-heads ain't for
I don't
nothing.
think they've totally conquered us though. Right at this point,
Okay.
I mean they're still working towards that goal, but so when they decide which one they think is the best candidate, they make contact with that country and its leaders. They dangle advanced technologies in front of their faces, and they do this in order to get treaties signed, giving them legal permission under galactic law or universal law or whatever you want to call it. There's many different races out there, and there's actually a legal.
Pleiadians. the
Well, yeah,
Nordics.
there's actually a legal system, kind of like the United Nations, how we have like Interpol
some
and stuff
Star
like that.
Wars type shit. There's like a new Republic
Yeah,
out there, or a
the-
Republic.
No, there's probably 1,000 races known.
Known or unknown?
Known. I mean, I've been reading this book lately. It's I forget the name of it, but No, there's apparently there's almost 900. Well, when we do our secret space program episode, we're gonna get into this, but
Yeah.
there's over 900 races that are known to us that we engage in trade with.
That's fucking nuts. But I don't know, like that's crazy to me. I feel like 900 races, like I'm sure all of them can't communicate with us. You know what I mean? Like there's 900 intelligent races out there that are able to communicate with us.
900 is not a big number.
That's a fucking big number. I can only count to 10.
Considering the size of the universe, there's more freaking planets out there that are habitable than there are grains of sand on the beach.
Yeah.
So
that is true.
The fact that there are 900 races that we know of that are known to us and we communicate and trade with, that's not a surprise to me.
So let me ask you this. Do you think us as a human species, like we can travel, travel the speed of light? Man, the government's just not saying anything because...
Yeah, we're not getting into that today because that goes into the secret space program episode.
Yeah, I mean,
we're talking about the Greys today, Richie.
So many questions.
Did you forget?
No, but I'm just so confused.
Greys,
like,
buddy.
How... Are the aliens coming to us or are we going to them? That's all I want to know.
Both.
Okay.
So, anyway, like I said, they dangle the tech, they get the treaties signed, and that gives them legal permission to study the life forms on this planet, including us. That's why they've been abducting people, experimenting on them, extracting, fucking semen and eggs and all that shit. So once this happens, they begin work to gain control of the ruling classes, like the ruling classes of this world.
Mm-hmm.
The elites, the people that, I don't know about you, but I see as villains, and I have for a long time. Like, say, the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, Bezos, Bill Gates,
Zuckerberg,
the filthy rich, the people that really run the world.
Yeah.
Not the government. The people that really run the planet. They're the ones.
There's no way Zuckerberg is not an alien.
He looks like one.
Did you watch that interview, like in Congress, when he was getting railed by Congress?
Yeah, he's just sitting there, expressionless. Maybe he's a gray, like shapeshifting or something.
Maybe he's shapeshift.
He's sitting there, he's like, no, I haven't seen that.
Or maybe
with his drink, that straw. He's like,
yeah.
Did he have a straw?
No, he didn't.
He didn't.
Slurping it from the cup.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's just like.
But you know what? Maybe Greys, with their little psychic powers that they have, they can use that to project themselves to appear as humans, even though they don't really physically appear as humans. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah, you're talking about like a glamour spell, like a shield.
Yeah, they put it on us,
hide in plain sight type of thing.
That's probably what they're doing.
So yeah, they start to gain control of the ruling classes of the strongest nation on the planet, and they then get the strongest nations on the planet, not just the strongest nation. And then they get those nations to project their strength all over the world. Mm-hmm. Like how the United States does.
Right.
We enforce our will on the planet.
Yeah, because we're fucking assholes.
Nah. We have our own interests.
We're assholes. And so are the Greys. The Greys are fucking assholes, and we're assholes. And the reptilians are even bigger assholes.
Hey, but you know what?
No, the reptilians are gaped assholes.
If you believe this bullshit, it's not us doing it. It's the Greys.
Yeah, fuck
the Greys are the ones. The reptilians and the Greys are the ones. They're not forcing, but they're in exchange for the elite's safety.
So I wonder if serial killers, like all serial killers, are Greys, right? Maybe. Who knows?
I don't know. I doubt it.
Anyways, back to the topic.
Yeah. So, anyway, so the clones, so they can't reproduce on their own because they lost their reproductive capability in captivity to the reptilians. Mm. So they rely on cloning and creating, like genetic doubles of themselves to survive. And they also use this same cloning technology to clone our elites, our elected officials, people in high offices.
So you're telling me there's two Hillary Clintons running around?
No, there's only one, but that one's a clone.
How do you know though? How do you if that one's a clone? How can there only be one?
Because the clones are manipulative. Well, not manipulative. They're able to be controlled by the individuals that created them,
AKA the reptilians.
Yep. So people like
AKA
say
the Majestic 12.
Our new president. You ever wonder why he looks so much different than he did 3 years ago, or 4 or 5 years ago under Obama?
He's fucking old.
Because he's a clone.
Age hits you, buddy.
He's a clone.
Slaps you in the face.
He's a clone.
Hey, I'm only 26 and I got fucking wobbly knees, and that just started happening. I swear, one day you wake up and you're old, and maybe Biden's one day was.
Well, I think I have an enlarged prostate because I have to take a piss.
Oh my god.
Anyway, so the clones and the doubles are created of our leaders, so they can use the clones of our leaders as puppets to do what the Tao wants them to do.
So what the fuck are they doing with the originals?
What would you do with an original if you copied them?
If I was a reptilian, I'd eat it.
Yeah, they're dead.
Fucking devour it.
Yeah, they're dead.
Eat Hillary Clinton from her feet first, and then work my way up.
Yeah, so the leaders are clone puppets according to this research, and the underlings, we use the leaders to play upon their greed. Well, not we, but the Greys.
The underlings,
the underlings of the leaders,
like the politicians and shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we play upon. Well, not we.
Yeah, because I feel like.
Why do I keep saying we? The fucking Greys prey upon their greed.
So are you a fucking gray, Andy?
Maybe. Shit, I guess. I don't know, but
fuck.
I keep saying we for some reason.
Don't fucking abduct me. Don't anal probe me, goddamn.
Too late. You're already in my garage.
Oh no.
Wait, studio. Sorry, studio.
You're gonna start the anal probing. I'll fucking run. I fight back. I'll start screaming.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a hard time anal probing me. I'll just say that right now.
I should hope so. I kind of start to worry about you if I didn't have any trouble.
Back on topic. So, okay, so our world leaders, right? Our big world leaders, they're clones. But what I want to know, like Congress, they're not really. I don't think Congress has really any aliens in it, as far as Greys go. Because
no, but they're greedy cocksuckers, is what they are.
Yeah, true. But they're elected officials, right? By the humans, and
I'm talking both sides of the aisle.
Yes, both sides of the aisle, but. They're elected by us, right, as like a nation or whatever, as a people. But the world leaders are they're the ones that are the reptilians or the Greys, right, for the most part.
Yeah, the world powers, they're puppets to the Greys. They do what the Greys want them to do, and they push the agenda to the underlings, which are our politicians, and those underlings push their agenda onto us.
Okay. Makes sense.
Okay, yeah. So, like I said, this plan, what they do, it's been done before. It's been done a lot of times on different planets to different species. And a lot of times once they get to this point where they're at this level of control, especially if you got a greedy, self-serving species like ours, frequently the elites of that planet they'll sell out. They'll sell.
Are you okay over there, Andy? Sounds like you're having a hard time putting together sentences. Maybe we've been drinking a little too much.
No, I mean my freaking nose hurts. Like I got
Womp.
wicked sinus pressure.
Womp.
But yeah, so they sell out the everyone else on the planet to remain in the Greys and or the reptilians' favor. So
okay,
yeah.
So now what we do know is that the Greys, right, which are also working with the reptilians, have been granted land, like I was talking about earlier, by the Majestic 12.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Like it gets back to the point you made earlier. Right now, like I said, the Greys, the reptilians, they're in control. So. They weren't really granted land. They granted that land to themselves because they did it through their elites and through the chain of command.
which is the Majestic 12. Which now that I think about it, since like the Majestic 12, they're a pretty powerful group within the government or like within our society. They're probably fucking reptilians, and the reptilians gave.
I think they're robots. Have you heard the stories about them when like anytime there's a UFO sighting or whatever and somebody reports it, and then the men in black, they show up, they're expressionless, they got makeup on.
But that sounds like a gray if you think about it, because grays are emotionless, expressionless, right?
Yeah, but like they try so hard to act human, but they do a terrible job.
But going back to the Majestic 12, they're a pretty powerful group. They're like a secret organization within the government, and they're a powerful group of people. Like
they can't be that secret if we know about them.
Also known as the Jason. There you go. Also known as the Jason Society. They gave the Greys a tract of land, which, like I said before, is in the Four Corners area, which is the borders of Utah, Colorado, Arizona, and New Mexico, and that's pretty it's desolate, right? It's desert for the most part, so no one's really there. I mean, there's people there, don't get me wrong, but so these Greys, they have underground bases in that area known as DUMBs, DUMBS. Maybe we're dumb, I don't know, but it stands for Deep Underground Military Bases. And the reason for them being in the Four Corners area is so that when they do abduct people, or when they're flying out to take people to operate on them, or do whatever they do, it's so that they have very little flight path, and when they do go in, like there's very not too many witnesses. They pick up whatever they can pick up, and they're gonna go back and go straight back underground, so no one really sees shit. And yeah, I mean, these DUMBs are fucking dangerous. You got any notes on that?
No, I don't have anything
comments?
I don't have anything on the DUMBs, but yeah, they're. I mean, I know I've heard about them. What was that guy's name? I gotta look that up. This guy, he did a long speech, in front of this group. I think it was in a church, and he used to work for the government at Area 51 and other places that he would not talk about. But apparently, him and some other people got into one of these DUMBs. They got inside and were confronted by a couple of aliens, and
they shoot them with their ray guns.
No, the humans killed them.
The humans killed the aliens.
Yeah,
the Greys.
Well, I mean, I guess the aliens drew their ray guns on them or some shit, and they fucking fired the fucking bullets right into his fucking stomach.
Jeez.
Pop, 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 pop.
Wow.
Fuck it, I'd do the same thing if I saw that prick sitting in a chair staring at me. Get off my planet.
Get off my lawn.
Get off my dirt farm.
Get off my fucking lawn.
Get off my dirt farm.
Okay, so the first encounter that we know of, I mean, that became popular, that brought the Greys into the public's, eye, would be the Roswell, New Mexico crash landing, right? This happened. Do you remember what year this happened in? Was it 47?
The Roswell crash?
Yeah.
I think so. It was 47.
Okay, in 1947, basically, something crashed, and it was in the Four Corners area, Roswell, New Mexico, and that was the first time, that the public had been open to anything extraterrestrial, or there was a chance that we knew of anything extraterrestrial. And like we had solid proof as far as the crash goes and as far as the aircraft goes. And there's also an autopsy video, right? But
yeah, the alien autopsy video.
Yeah, who's to say if that's real or fake?
I don't know. I heard it was fake. I heard it was a group of special effects guys. They got together and made that video. They created the dummy pretty much. I don't know what they used for the skin, but inside they actually had real like intestines and organs and blood they got from a butcher shop down the street. I think they were from a goat or something, but when they cut this thing open and they were pulling out like the organs and the intestines and stuff from a goat out of this thing's stomach.
So they used a goat. A goat's intestines.
So. I think that's what they said, it was a goat. But
poor goat.
Whatever, I'd eat it.
I mean, but his intestines are forever going to be known as alien intestines.
Fuck it.
So, but basically, after the crash, they pulled out a few bodies, right? And an immediate analysis of their species could not be determined. But the aliens, referred to the Ebon, had both reptilian and insect-like qualities. So by insect-like qualities, we mean the huge eyes, right? They have those big, beady bug eyes.
Almost look like a praying mantis.
Also on board were found remains of several military personnel, as far as we know. This was the first major indication that human beings were being taken by an alien species. In December 1988, former Navy intelligence officer William Cooper interviewed a man who said, "I don't know everything, but it's way out of control. To tell you the truth, I'm afraid of what's going to happen. Giant underground shelters are being built under Groom Lake and in other places." In reference to the claim, some say that these aliens are harvesting humans on planet Earth for genetic or bioplasmic and secretional properties. So, what does that mean? They're harvesting us for genetic, bioplasmic, and secretional properties. Like, what do they need that for is what I want to know.
Repeat the question. Wait.
I said the aliens are harvesting humans on planet Earth for the genetic, bioplasmic, and secretional properties. So I wonder, like, maybe they're trying to get food for the reptilians.
No.
Because we all know reptilians eat humans.
What I hear
is they love human babies.
As far as their dealings with the abductions, from what I've been reading, they're entirely out for themselves because they can't reproduce naturally. So they will do. So
they probably need. Well, so you're saying they're extracting our fucking cum?
They're in survival mode. They're in self-preservation mode. They know if they can't find a way to exist on this planet standalone, that their species will completely go extinct. So they're trying to create human gray hybrids.
Okay. Basically, there's no doubt that the government policy of secrecy, which probably was put in place by the Majestic 12, a.k.a. the Greys, makes the harvest easier for the Greys. Or no, sorry, the Reptilians. The Majestic 12, the Reptilians, okay.
See, here's the thing, though. The Reptilians, they're interested in our planet's resources more than they're interested in us.
What if we are? What if we are the planet's resources?
Well, that's part of it. That's part of it. But just like I said, in the book that I've been reading, there's a huge slave trade, like a intergalactic slave trade, and it's been going on for hundreds of years. But I guess there's a human slave trade too.
Yeah. So they. My whole thing is if the government was actually trying to protect us, which they're not, right? That's because of the Majestic 12. They're reptilians.
Well, how do you know they're reptilians?
Because they are. Okay, the Majestic 12 is helping out the Greys. It just makes sense. It makes sense. And you know what? I'm never wrong.
Okay.
I'm never wrong. So basically...
That'll just be your little secret.
It's not my secret anymore, right? It's out in the open. But it's just... So everyone knows the Majestic 12 are reptilians, just like everyone knows that the CIA are Nazi SS intelligence-based. And yeah. Everyone knows that, Andy.
Everyone?
Everyone. Because the CIA was reputedly established by Bavarian Illuminati respectives Alan Dulles, in collaboration with Bavarian Thule Society, representative of the Nazi SSS General Reinhard Gehlen, the CIA and NSA working on behalf of the corporate socialists in America, who, according to Antony Sutton and The Economist, financed the Bolshevik and Nazi revolutions, in turn infiltrated the industrial military system, and in turn the largely uneluded appointed executive branch of the U.S. government via their coup d'etat of the executive branch, which occurred simultaneously with the assassination of John F. Kennedy. Everyone knows that.
Now we're getting into the realm of QAnon.
It all has to do with aliens, Andy.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
All of it.
We all know QAnon is bullshit.
Yeah. Maybe they're onto something.
I don't think it exists at all.
So, something that's interesting, right? The Greys in our society, like we were talking about, had been popularized sometime after the 50s, right?
Yeah, I think it was actually what was that movie?
War of the Worlds.
No, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, I believe, is what popularized the Greys.
When
right?
did that come out?
Oh fuck, I don't know. I'll look that shit up if you want me to.
Yeah, Google it.
Might take me a minute.
So
Hold
one
on.
thing that I found when I was researching though that I think is interesting. The Greys have a very distinct look, right? And like we were saying, they were popularized sometime after the 50s. This look, which is big heads, they're gray, they have huge eyes, little slits for nostrils. One thing I found interesting was Aleister Crowley, right, in 1907 had summoned Aiwass, which was his guardian angel.
1977.
1977?
Yeah.
Okay.
Steven Spielberg with Richard Dreyfuss.
I feel like the Greys were popularized before that, though, no? Like after Roswell, everyone kind of freaked out.
Yeah, but I think that's where... You know what? Honestly, I haven't seen the movies. I should probably watch it.
Yeah, maybe don't bring it up if you haven't seen it.
But I'm pretty sure that... I mean, I've heard it said before that that's where our cultural mental image of the alien came from.
We have to watch it, and you get back to us on that one. But something I found interesting, like I was saying, was that back in 1907, Aleister Crowley, a.k.a. the Great Beast 666, who was a magician.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Well, he summoned his guardian angel, Aiwass, right? And he drew a picture of Aiwass. And Aiwass helped him create the Book of the Law, which was...
you sure it wasn't you, Plaxar?
It was not me, Plaxar. He helped him create the Book of the Law, and that's like a huge thing that... I don't even know how to begin to explain it, but basically it helps bank off of a religion of Thelema, which is Aleister Crowley's religion. So this entity, Aiwass, dictated everything that's in the Book of the Law to Aleister Crowley and had him write it down. Aleister Crowley drew Aiwass, and this was, like I said, in the early 1900s, right? No one really fucking knows what Greys are. And this picture, it's crazy. Like, it looks like a Grey, straight up. And to me, that's some crazy shit, because that probably throws some proof out there that maybe Greys are real, because this is 1907, right?
Did this have anything to do with Aleister Crowley's obsession with getting fucked in his ass?
He was a heroin addict and he was gay, but I don't know if this has anything to do with that. But maybe the heroin does. Who knows? I think at this point, though, he wasn't necessarily addicted to heroin. I think that was later on in his life, but it's just some crazy shit. That's like a coincidence that can't go unnoticed.
Yeah, he liked taking shots, all right.
Yeah. He was definitely a power bottom.
Ropes.
Shooting ropes, yep. But basically, this also goes along with the theory that, for the Book of the Law and everything that Aiwass had told Aleister Crowley, it's pretty much helping society or whatever. And or that's what they believed, or what Aleister Crowley believed. And this goes with the beings of light theory. So another popular theory held by many involved in the New Age philosophy is that Greys are truly the benevolent race they claim to be, and that they are to guide humanity into the next millennium with spiritual understanding of each other in order to create a more perfect society. And that sounds like what Aiwass was trying to do with Aleister Crowley. Or
that's not what it says in Bibliotheca Pleiades.
Well, Bibliotheca Pleiades is the rabbit hole of all rabbit holes, and everything and anything you want is in there as far as theories go. So, like I said, this is a theory, right? And this is just something that I'm noting that I found was interesting, which is what Aiwass looked like a Grey.
Yeah. Well, the Greys are definitely an enigma.
Enigma for sure.
That's a big fucking word. I had a hard time saying
it. Enigma.
It's actually not that big of a word. All right. So anyway, the Greys, they, like I said, they not only did they clone our leaders and our people, but they also cloned themselves, because that's how they propagate their species, because they can't reproduce naturally.
Right.
So there's reports that there are thousands of
Tao on this planet, and there's thousands more clones. In 1953, 55, and 57, several large ships, like motherships, they took up positions around the Earth along the equator. And
Along the equator?
yeah, along the equator.
Okay.
So a few of them went under the water, and actually one is said to still be there somewhere around Easter Island, like off the coast of Easter Island. And I guess there's a few more around, like maybe one down there by Antarctica. So
Now this has to do with the USOs also, right? Because they're
yeah.
Which, if you guys don't know, are unidentified submerged objects, which is like a UFO, but
Yeah, so and then the others, they went to the moon and Mars and some of Mars' moons. So, and I guess that's where they're gonna hang out and meet with the reptilians to plan the rest of their conquest, because they're
motherships.
no, on the moons of
okay.
Mars and on Mars's surface. So, where I was gonna get to on their plan, the next point, they hang out there, and then they contact the Orion group. The Orion group is the reptilians, and once they show up, that's like the military might, like that's where they complete their conquest after they've.
So Mars has 2 moons, and the base for the reptilians and the Greys would be Phobos.
Mm-hmm.
So Phobos is the biggest moon that circles Mars, and according to some, that is where the Greys' base is at. It's Phobos.
Could be, but here's my question: if you were running a covert shadow government on this planet, why wouldn't you base somewhere closer? Why wouldn't you hang out on our moon? We have a moon.
They do say that they are on our moon, and the only reason that we haven't been back to the moon to this day is because there's too many gray bases or alien bases there, and we can't fucking land, and they're not letting us come back. So, boom.
Well, apparently, there's many races on our moon. So, I mean, that's what I read.
Yes.
Like, I'm talking fucking reptilians, Greys, Nordics, the fucking those
Pleiadians.
No. Oh, yeah, maybe. I don't know. But definitely those fucking, I forget what they fucking called them. They kind of look like giant praying mantises.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's fucking terrifying.
That is terrifying, dude.
My
I wouldn't want
God.
to run into one of those.
Can you imagine a giant praying mantis, like, flying
Dude, tear your fucking head off.
a spaceship?
Imagine them just sitting there, fucking, the thing they do with their arms, and they just kind of like rock back and forth.
What if they're just, like, super gentle and, like, they just use, like, you can die. I could just see a giant praying mantis typing on a computer with his little pincers.
Here's my question, though. Without fingers and thumbs, how are you manually adept to build machinery? Like, if you get 2 appendages for arms with no fingers, how do you build or operate machinery like that?
You know what? That is a question, and that is a damn good question.
I think it's bullshit.
It's almost like,
Unless they somehow manage to force
how
somebody
many
else
licks
to
does
do
it
it
take
for
to
them.
get to the center of a Tootsie Pop?
The world may never know.
There you go. There's your answer. We will never know.
Yeah, so that's about the extent of my knowledge on the Greys. I don't fucking have anything else, dude. Unless I could find something right now.
Yeah, we'll go to the final thoughts about this whole situation or this whole subject. Andy, Gray is real, yes or no?
I think they're real, but I think a lot of what I read here on Bibliotheca Pleiades,
The hub for research.
I think it's bullshit.
You're bullshit. Fuck you.
I think it's bullshit because, look, if they were here for research purposes and they were trying to clone us, they'd have done it already, especially with their level of technology. They've been here for fucking 50, 60 years. If they wanted to take over, they'd have done it already.
This is as much bullshit as the CIA being Nazis, which is not bullshit at all. Okay? It's fucking real.
Well, yeah, I'd agree with that. The CIA, they are not nice people.
But, yeah, Gray, it's definitely an interesting subject. There's a myriad of more, like, theories out there that we could have covered, but
Oh, they're going to come into play on future episodes too.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, just like what we know on the race specifically is what we've put out so far.
yeah, we can delve deeper for sure into all of this. But it's just there's only two of us, and it's a lot of information to hold. And
plus we both have day jobs too.
Yes,
so
holding this information in your head, it will not keep you right in the brain.
No.
If you hold it too long. So I tell you what, I've been trying to talk to people about this, and they just look at me like I'm fucking crazy. Because maybe I am.
I think he is fucking crazy.
Yeah, I'm pretty crazy. But all right, guys, this is our first episode and our first episode attempt. We do know that we'll only get better within time, and it's only a matter of time before we start to find our flow and our rhythm. But this is basically what the show is about. Just kicking back, drinking a few beers, discussing what we've researched, and just bullshitting, enjoying ourselves.
Here's my thing though. What if we're all part gray?
Okay, Andy. Now, too many beers, mister. We're not all part grays. We're either full grays or not. Like you're fucking scaring me, buddy. That whole talking earlier, you know what I mean?
But
Mr. Anal Probe, you got your finger waving around in the air like you're trying to stick it somewhere.
Yes.
No.
Kind of looks, actually, I got a little something under my fingernail.
But all right, guys. Thanks for listening, and we hope you guys check in next time. Next week we'll be most likely talking about...
I have no fucking clue.
We'll figure it out.
We'll surprise you.
Yes. All right, guys. Thank you so much.
All right, have fun. I'm Andy.
And I'm Richie, and this is the
Supernatural Beer Bros Podcast.